with coach, the coach.
You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was talking about so what happens is sometimes with relationships with coaches as a player development coach, especially if you have a team or two, you have to be careful because now some parents may say, well, this player's only playing because they're playing for their coach they have a relationship with. So, and I totally get, they call it here UIL. I think it's like University Interscholastic League. That's the league that governs sports. So, there's a thin line there as far as support and help, at least on my side. But I try to do my best at getting to know the coaches and understand the coaches' talk and mentality. Because a lot of times players just don't communicate. Why are you not playing? I don't know. They don't like it. Well, it's a little more than that.
Yeah.
Something you're doing in practice or something you're not doing in practice
Right.
is a direct result of the minutes that you're playing or not playing, right?
Yeah, so do some of your players come in with the mindset of what they need to do, or do you find that it really is from the coaches? Because there's that crossover point where I think that as a player you realize what you need to do, but not everybody does, and especially working with younger people, that's a little bit of a different dynamic.
It is, and you're right? And that's just kind of like for me, if you go off the formal name of my company, POA, it stands for Plan, Organize, and Attack. And that's what I'm looking at. So what am I teaching more? I mean, it's only so many things we do with the ball, guys. It's more off the court. How can we prep? How can we prepare? Like going off of an old Coach Knight saying, everybody can win. Everybody wants to win. Very few people prepare to win. And preparation to me is first and foremost. Before we go to that court, like I sometimes do this, like not trying to say, I'm trying to be better than other people. Like I sometimes do Zoom calls before we even hit the court with parents, with players, because we can train. Anybody can train you. Like, what do you want out of this? Let's figure this out, and then from here, let's create a game plan of action. Right, a GPS, a game plan for success. Because if you just want workouts here or there, then you can go to a small group for that. Like, go get what you need to go get for that interim fix, versus trying to grow a relationship.
Yeah.
And then understanding more and more, what is your coach saying? What is he not saying? What is she not saying? Do you all do evaluations? Do you give this coach this evaluation? Let them fill it out. Give it to your peers. What do they think about you? So I'm just trying to give them a different light and a different aspect.
So, some coaches are looking for, say that they want them to be the sixth man, right? Or they want him to be the guy that comes off the bench and plays defense. How do you, because a player doesn't usually, they're trying to develop, they don't want to be that guy, right? They want to be the guy that scores at high volume, or they take a lot of shots. Like, how do you deal with that situation where the coach is like, well, this guy will get to play more, if he learns the schemes better, or if, makes better back cuts, or, is a better team player than, where the kid wants to work on, I want to shoot a step back jumper.
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Score the ball.
Yeah.
Right. So great question for me. There's really no way to go at it other than just go at it. And that's just this. Like a question I ask, and I'll ask you two guys. Who gets the most shots on every team?
The best shooter.
The best shooter. Who you say, Aaron?
Best scorer. There's multiple ways.
Not saying you're wrong, Robert.
I'm saying he's wrong.
No. The best scorer.
Yeah,
then this is where I come in at with relationship. And it may not be you. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Because if players don't let you get here. They try to play you here. But relationship comes from the heart. So when you do have I'm not getting the minutes, or I'm not playing, or I want to shoot, they're not telling me to shoot. Okay, so let me ask you a question. When they said don't shoot, was it in the moment? Did you follow up? No, I can't shoot. Well, ask that question, not during practice. Just kind of get clarification on that. But that's simply, you're not the scorer. It's okay. And then also making myself vulnerable. I've been there before. I understand where you're at. You want to play, but coach is kind of dictating. Well, probably because you didn't put forth that opportunity when he gave you, or she gave you the green light. Now he took it away. just like a budget, right? I give you a budget, you don't use it. You did a great job. We take away that. There's no access, right? So I try to, in a real way, give players, you may not be the best scorer. It's okay. Work on other facets of the game. I know you don't want to hear it, but now you just want to make the team to make the team. You got to figure it out.
This guy, rec league next year, we're gonna have our buddy hold up a camera for you, and you're gonna coach us from the sideline. Because I wish I would have had you as a coach.
Hey, well, I mean, but now I'm sharing from reflection.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
But on the side of Robert, I can shoot, but you're not scoring the ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, pass it.
Yeah, no
You're
doubt.
breaking. You don't want to hear that, but it's easy to say years later. But now, again, with perspective, how can I break that news? We're not necessarily breaking it, but just the reality of it. Okay, it's going to be a blow. It is, because it's a blow to the ego, who you think you are. But if you're not scoring the ball, let's watch film and look at Chris Paul pass the ball to Paul George. Look at film and watch how look at how Ben Simmons got attacked, and we know how he got attacked. How can we avoid that? That's because now you have clarity. You have to understand your role. Your role's forever changing. You might be a scorer this year. Next year, you're not a scorer. It's okay.
Got to build that mentality. I love that.
So sometimes you gotta tell them to trust the process, right? Like,
well,
I mean a different way. I mean, like,
is,
if they want to be a shooter, say, well, maybe next year you're not going to be the shooter, but if you work hard at becoming a better shooter and work on these other fundamentals, then maybe you can get there.
Yeah. Well, and again, the thing if we're talking youth. For me, youth. Like, I mean, you go from even lower school, elementary to high school. You don't really have a defined role unless you are the kid who can really shoot it.
Yeah.
Now, if I never talked about this with Aaron the last time we spoke, I call it, and this is another thing I do, and not necessarily trying to specialize, but if you really want to be that kind of player, think about it. I call it the 20-80 rule, right? Very simple. You probably wear 20% of the shoes you have 80% of the time. You look at the same. I got 10 pair. I'm wearing the same 2. Who knows why? I don't want to get into all the, where that stuff comes from. Who cares? But my point is, you got to find your top 20 skill set. That's what I'm after. And it's not specialized. Okay, you are better at attacking. You can describe more attacking in ways than you can describe shooting. So do we need to focus on shooting? No. So once we understand that, then it's like we're going to attack. We're going to make them players become playmakers. Now you find your top 20 skill set. Your top 20 skill set, you're going to do 80% of the game without thought. So now what's going to separate you is when everybody's out here trying to be everything for everybody, you have a focus. Focus for Charlie is find one course until successful. One course does not work, find other courses. Find your top 20. You guys have found it with 19-9. Think about it. Seriously.
Yeah.
You found it. Right? And I'm looking to find mine, and this is 11 plus years in. I'm now honing in on emotional intelligence, preparation, how to take individual skills and integrate into team concept, strategy. That's mine. But it's taken me 10 to figure that out.
Yeah. You got to find that gap.
You got to find that gap.
When you're watching film now, are you focusing on a certain level? Like, do you find yourself watching more college basketball, pro basketball, high school, game tape, or where are you focusing when you're looking at film?
I'm a top-down guy, man. I watch the pros. I watch the pros. I'm top-down. I watch the pros. I watch WNBA. I watch an NBA. I also watch the top teams. Why am I watching top teams? Because the first pillar for me, again, is individual development, it's player development. And it's how, and I've learned how to also decipher. I can watch something, and I can, and there's something called play types, right? I mean, it is what it is. Play types are basically the ways, if you guys know about synergy.
Yep.
Play types are pretty much the ways you score the ball. My interest is, I look at the play type, let's say spot up. We're talking about shooting. Okay, I got synergy. I can go to synergy, look at a Gonzaga, Crispin, right? He's a really good spot-up shooter. He's a good cut shooter. I can look at him and break him down. I can break him down. So, okay, Let me take components off that, and I can put that into a drill process. I got a decent shooter. We're going to work what I call 90-degree turns. I get a little animated. I'm standing up. The basket's where you guys are. We're going to work on he's learning how to really turn, square up to the basket.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to watch film, go to the movies, watch film on that. Now it's not about me telling you what to do. We've got film on it. It's captured. You can watch it. We go to the gym, you locked in. That's the key, man. It's not about buying. That's where, to me, sometimes coaches, irritate me. Being real, buying. Screw your buying.
Yeah.
Crap don't work.
Well, you're talking about building it too. That's like side by side. Feels more like you're part of the process. To steal what Robert was saying.
Embody the experience, man, and that's what sometimes we forget.
Yep.
You have to embody this stuff. You gotta mess up with this stuff, muck this stuff up. It ain't that straight, man. Tension grows, bro. We're in tension. And we sometimes forget as gurus and, when I play, yeah, right. You can go to film where you can go to VCR tapes on when I play. So like, man, a lot of guys who coach, man, you didn't play that way, dude. It was 3 dribbles and a shot. It was come off the screen. Bro, it was similar. I'm for real, man. Where I played, it was pass right, screen left. No ball screen. UCLA cut to the right.
Yeah.
Screen up, come off, backdoor cut. And it wasn't get the ball, go here, punch, dribble. Speak English. What is that?
Right.
No one played that way. This is now the way of the dribble drive motion, which is not wrong.
Yeah.
So how can we go less is more because less is better? How can we make them more efficient with the dribble? Right? For me, footwork leads the dribble. I say mental leads the physical. Footwork leads the dribble. Let that dictate how you play. And from there, the game is fun because I'm not thinking about much. I'm just recognizing opportunities.
Yeah.
At least from my lenses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what sells. I know what sells likes and everything else. And my interest is not more on what players aren't doing. No, man, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
We suck at communicating as coaches.
Yeah.
We're living our own. We're trying to live our own best life through them. Nah.
Yeah.
I know where I get off at. I get off on this side of the play. I didn't miss out on the physical side. I could shoot, dunk, jump, run. I missed out on this side.
Yeah.
Score 25, come back for 5 games, score 25 points. Like, what the hell happened to this kid? I realize now.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get exactly. That might be a whole other story, some drinks behind that. Me laying on the couch with you guys. But I get it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't get it at 18, 19.
Yeah.
I get it now. And that's why I work the mind and the heart and the body and relationship more than anything, man, because this basketball stuff you can figure out.
Yeah.
So, talking about the game film, do you ever record them in their games and break down what they were seeing and what maybe they should have attacked it, or is it just the NBA stuff that you use? As a focus?
Robert, I gotta tell you, man, I don't care watching terrible basketball.
You won't watch that stuff? Okay. I didn't know. I'm
just trying to be Charlie. I'm trying to be Charlie.
I got you.
And I'm not being a jerk to you, bro.
No.
I can't stomach it. Like when I will go to games and I tell players that if I go to your game, bro, like look, I'm here as a fan. Don't look at me. Nor am I up here analyzing with your mom and dad. Nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm watching. I got my mental notes.
Yeah.
I got you. No,
it's because everybody wants to perform, and now you're nervous, Nelly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. And so it's like, and you want to impress more, and I get it. And to me, it's more of a celebration when I go watch a game and a player play. Oh, coach, I play back.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You're fine. You played as good as you could.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you what's hampering your nerves, and we always talk about that. Until you figure out how to get over those, you're gonna keep playing the same way. You play great with me. Nobody's in the gym. Get around people.
Yeah. That's not.
Yeah. I don't know. You care too much. Being real, you just care too much about what everybody else thinks in your ego. Yeah. Until you say, I don't care what I think and what other people think. It is what it is. Right? And easier said than done. So that's why I was like, I got a game. Okay, cool. Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna bring this up, but I have a little boy, and he's crazy about basketball, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm always listening to try to better myself and coaching and stuff like that. He's only 6,
Right.
The kid's been like watching IU basketball since he's been 2. Like he has like the focus is like crazy, right? He doesn't even talk. He just watched the game, and you think something wrong with him. You're like, hey man, you have fun? And he's just like, no, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm just watching, Dad. I'm like, all right. So like we start a tight goal. He's like I said, he's 6. He's already shot he hit like 20,000 shots this summer. Like he can almost hit threes at 10-foot goal. Like he does right hand, left hand layups, and like I'm always just looking for different things to challenge because he doesn't play many kids, right? Because all I have is
It is what it is. Yeah.
My daughter's 8 and he's 6, so like I cheat, right? I give her all the benefits, right? I say, okay, you can foul him. I'm not going to call it. Like, if he puts his dad down, it's an automatic point for you because I make him keep his head up because it's so important, like for passing and everything else.
You're just trying to find ways to just make it
challenge him, you know. So, like, how do you mentally get them in a space to where, like, I always just tell him, hey, do you want to be great or good? It's up to you. This is your life, right? Like, I'm not living through you. Like I'm already done playing, right?
Right.
So if you want to be great, you got to put work in. Like that's the only way it is. You're only going to be so tall. You're only going to be so quick. So you got to be better than everybody else at everything, right? That's all it comes down to.
Aaron, Robert looks like he's about 5'2", 4'11".
I'm about 5'8".
You're like 4'12", 4'13". I'm looking at the chair. I'm like,
oh no, I'm short. That's what I told you.
I'm looking at the neck area, Aaron. I'm like, okay, you're about 4'13". So son,
Oh man.
Yeah, he's a little dude, man. It's crazy. Like his form is good.
So he's figured it out. Yeah. He's figured something out, right?
Yeah.
And to share with you, I remember my son being similar. Couldn't speak, but knew how to work a remote control to literally watch my IU basketball practice tapes on a VHS.
Oh, that's good.
And then, funny story. He said, when he found out I was coaching, how are you coaching? What do you mean? He said, only white people coach.
Oh, no. Dang.
Because all he would look at was what?
Yeah.
The IU basketball practices.
Yeah.
And he couldn't speak, but he knew how to. I'm like, hi, bro, you can't talk. You can't put together 2 words.
Yeah.
But you know how to work the remote to stop it, start it, stop it, start it, stop it, start it.
Why?
Huh?
It's crazy what they can pick up,
get
man.
It. But what? Okay, so in essence, the idea, like what I'm hearing you say, I would just tell you, bro, to be real, enjoy it, because you got to understand something. What's your son's name?
Phoenix.
Phoenix has no reference points to being bad, being good, terrible, nothing. He has found a way to lock in, and he enjoys it. Just like another kid who would love to go to Chuck E. Cheese and play and be all over the place, he's just locked in on basketball. Who knows why? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And if I'm you, I would just continue to do the things you're doing until they come to a point where you see a change. Like, if you're charting shots, like you teach them how to plan, man.
Well, they actually have an SIQ ball. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
I got him that. So, like, it records his shot, his accuracy.
Man, you're teaching him self-sufficiency. So, I mean, he's going to learn how to work that ball. I can go outside and get lost for hours. And whatever he makes of it, he makes of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, whatever he makes of it, he makes of it. So, like keep doing what you're doing, because to me, you're doing nothing but planting seeds. Right? Now, I don't know that thin line to say it's too much.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's too much when he starts saying that I don't want to do this. So you see changes in him, like, I don't get it no more. I don't, okay, cool. But like, he's figured something out like a lot of people have figured out. And it's also something to look into, not on this conversation. It's called primal cue. And a primal cue is nothing more than somebody in your family, you saw somebody or someone said something, and all of a sudden it ignited a motivation so deep in you. It's like, what? So think about how much you probably talk about basketball.
Oh yeah.
Think about how much you talk about IU basketball. How much you just talk about it and it's like little cues are coming in. Boom, boom, boom. Daddy watches, I'm gonna watch. They pick up more on our behavior modification than anything. Not about what you're saying. He's doing what you're doing. He just
you.
happened to catch it, and he got it.
Yeah.
And you're like concerned.
Yeah.
Well, as a parent, you don't want to like do too much, right? So
Yeah.
because you got everybody.
It is too much.
I don't know. That's what.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was trying to get out of you because you're the trainer.
But see, that's what I'm saying. No one. It's like to me, man. It's like Goldilocks, right? It's like not too much, not too less. You're finding that just right.
Yeah,
and
you
who
never
knows
find it
what's
if you're
gonna
training
come
Kobe.
of
Right?
This. And I'm sorry, I missed you.
I said you never find it if you never find too much.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you're
who
training Kobe.
knows what's gonna come of this? But yet, you understand you can parlay this for stories for years to come. To say, remember that focus you had, or if you don't know that focus, you had a focus. So man, you can channel that to anything that you want to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because all he's doing, he's just learning to focus and he's magnifying his focus. And it's making sense to him to mimic the movements he's watching on the court. Literally. He's copying.
Yeah, that's what I did the other day. I let him watch the NBA 100 plays, and then he went outside and tried to play. He plays quarters. He keeps the score. He goes to half. Like, it's just yeah. He's just crazy, man.
Thank you. I mean, if I'm you, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's really the player I'm talking about. He's going to be the best player, best scorer. He's not going to fret for scoring the ball because you know how to shoot. You don't fret. Like, it ain't no, I got to score. Like, I can play. I figured this out. He can see the game, right? And it's not necessarily about a basketball IQ. You feel it. It's you feel the game. He's learning how, that to me would be like the next introduction. Like, okay, here's somebody's here. What you going to do? He's over here. What you going to do? Get him talking about it. Yeah, watch how you help him learn how to talk.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I taught him how to juke already and how to read feet. My daughter tries to cheat and force him left, and how to attack the foot to go right, and why you're going to go so close to them, and how to read their body and do a step back if they do a certain way.
There you go.
And he's really starting to pick it up pretty good. Yeah. I mean, but he's he's one of them kids that's like that.
To me, the essence of basketball is that feel. It's the feel of, I got to put you under my control as defender.
Yeah.
Just because you're from me, that means you're playing defense.
Yeah.
I got to get you playing tight.
Let's switch gears a little bit, and you mentioned before we got on that you'd seen some of the Hoosier Hysteria stuff.
Yeah.
So what'd you get? And what give us your take on it?
What I saw was the introduction. Man, those candy stripe shorts were like,
oh yeah.
Lit. Like, I want to find a way to get paid. Like,
they got to get you a pair, right?
Man, that was nice. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like
it was cool. It was good because it's different. Like it almost like blasphemous because I'm like, y'all got music going and rap music and dancing and
yeah.
The hell is this? The girls coming out. I'm like, and I'm kind of having fun with it, going to my intrinsic self. I'm like, okay, that tells me a lot about that person.
Yeah,
that music selection.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
Mike Winston came out to
Big Papa.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
I know. I heard that. I was like, wow, he's going big.
Yeah.
He came out to that, and I'm serious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
You're fine, man.
Right.
So, do you know a lot about the new? Have you seen a lot of the IU players that came in, and how do you think that they're going to fit together? With so many different new players.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, with a team like this, don't you think that it'll take, maybe the middle of the season for them to really mesh, or do you think that because of the Bahamas trip, they might be able to start out playing better together?
Yeah. Well, what you're saying too is that your teams aren't defined by those early successes. They're defined by how they are going to deal with adversity, right? So it's going to be last year's team crumpled on some ways in some games, and can this year's team, when they hit that adversity, bounce back, grow from it, or else they'll end up in a similar spot. Yeah. Yep. Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. How much can you expect like improvement for college guys, like when you're thinking about it, because the better you get, sometimes you get closer to your sort of limit. I mean, you can always make improvements, but there's only like some guys will have like a big jump, and sometimes it'll be just a little bit of improvement. So I mean, is there like a fair amount that you can expect from guys at the college level? Yeah. 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 Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
So the prime example for that is Rob Finney, right? Like his confidence was shot, obviously. I mean, he's obviously a great talent if he can just mentally, believe in himself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so let's just twist it a little bit here, and while we're talking about like how the team maybe didn't mesh next year, and talk a little bit about the name and likeness. Like one of the questions that I have is, how do you think that it's going to affect teams when they bring in this player and they get paid this money, right? And then they don't show up. I say show up. They don't play up to the potential. And then you got players that have been there for 4 years, that've been working their tail off, and they ain't got no deal, right? So what does that do to a locker room, and how is that going to work out? In your opinion?
Yeah. It's like the first thing. That's like the first thing you hear, right? Mm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
firm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What would your approach have been? Like, I mean, you certainly would have had some NIL opportunities probably coming out of high school. Like, what? Yeah, that's all right. People will know. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Was it? Is it? So is that something that's in the back of your mind as a developmental coach, thinking about our guy's going to come to me asking for advice or guidance in this area too? Because a lot of what you've talked about is the off the court stuff, and I mean, at least to some extent, this is going to become a part of that. I mean, even down to the high school level, some of these guys are in high school with deals and getting sponsorships and whatnot. Mm. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, that's a different approach. Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing you were talking about with the UCLA. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, that makes sense.
All right, so changing a little bit, if you were able to draft 5 players from IU's past that you would take for NIL, the top 5 that you think would be the biggest money earners,
Yeah,
who would they be?
I like this because it's not necessarily the best. It's a way of getting it to go like
Most money makers.
Yeah, yeah. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got?
Moye?
Yes.
I like it. I like the confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I didn't know that. I knew Oladipo could sing. I didn't know. I didn't know Andre. Okay. What?
What?
Okay. I'll find that.
Okay.
All right. Jasper, that's where we're at right now. Jasper, Indiana. That's his hometown. I like it. You're giving deep cuts. All right. Mandeville. Yes. Lot of money there in Bloomington. Does it? All right. That checks out. There you go. That checks out then. Yes. Oh my gosh. Look, you even got a product ready for him too. No. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's almost like the old man move, you know. Where they,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Sometimes
Oh, that is crazy.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to get it out, man. I played sports long enough to know.
Do you use that in your training?
No.
You guys got an octagon?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The game evolved. Yep. No doubt. Phew. Yep. No doubt about it. Well, Charlie, we so appreciate your time again, and hopefully we can check in maybe middle of the season with how the team's doing, and just kind of do a progression with training throughout the year. I love the 4 quarters. That was one of those things. Last time you had me taking away the translation thing, but I love the 4 quarters approach too. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Right. Like it. Yeah.
It's a style.
Yeah. That Charlie, the styles evolve. It's just the game changes, man.
Got to get with the times.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I love
awesome.
it, man. All right. All right, I hit the turn the recorder off, man. That was awesome. You get going. You got the stories, man. I love the tempo and pacing of it. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, man. Yeah, yep. It's perfect, man. Keep going with it. It's entertaining, and I learn stuff from it too. So
Oh, yeah.
that's the best combination.
I'm always about learning more, man. You never know enough.
Yep. All right, man. Well, too, if you need more gear, too, check out the website. Shoot me a message. I'll get EJ to send you some gear too. We don't have the candy stripes, but send me size and something else. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
All right. Take care, man.